The long-awaited DJI Osmo Pocket 4P is finally here. While the Osmo Pocket 4 is a more than capable discrete camera, the slightly bigger 4P aims to cater to those who want more options, more power, and more flexibility. And DJI has partnered with me to bring you guys this buying guide breakdown to see which one is right for you. So it's quite obvious the 4P here uses a dual camera system versus the one on the 4. Now the bottom camera of the 4P is kind of similar to the one that the regular 4 uses, which is a 1x 20mm equivalent lens that uses their all-new 1-inch sensor. While they sound similar, the regular 4's 1-inch sensor features 14 stops of dynamic range, and the 4P's 1-inch sensor features 17 stops of dynamic range. And the footage looks great. I'm showing you footage from a variety of different color profiles in a variety of lighting situations, from normal to a lot of the new film looks that are available in either of the models. No additional color grading needed, and if you're happy with wide shots like these, the regular 4 is more than good enough. Now the top camera of the 4P is a 3x lens, which is about a 60mm equivalent, but it uses a 1/1.3-inch CMOS sensor, so smaller than 1 inch. For those of you who use any of DJI's multi-camera lens drone system, this will be somewhat familiar to you. And the 3x lens is going to be one of the primary reasons to get the 4P over the 4. DJI is aiming for this to be an all-in-one camera system, from 20mm all the way to 240mm. And I'll clarify the 240mm in just a sec. But ideally, 1x wide for environmental shots, and 3x mid-tele for portrait close-ups. And Vivian lately has been getting into running, so let's get some nice lifestyle shots of her. Come on, let's go. Run, run, run. Go, go, go. And you can see both lenses allows us to capture so much coverage. Where the 1x may make her seem a little far, the 3x compresses the background, bringing it closer to our subject to create a nice backdrop. And man, it just looks so good. And I'm not glazing like this is the only camera that can get us shots like these. Alright, Michael, I'm just a huge fan of compression shots, but there's no denying how much easier the 4P makes it. And it's adding so much more production value if we want to do professional-like shoots. While it is bigger than the 4 in comparison, at the end of the day, we're not using a big gimbal setup like these to achieve these types of similar shots. And we're getting real background blur, not artificial bokeh, and it's also an f1.8 lens too, so it looks really nice. These portrait shots look amazing, just check out the skin tones. And they've updated Active Track to 8.0, which works with the 3x lens, so it can focus on keeping track of our subject while we focus on keeping our eyes on the road. Both cameras in 1x mode can shoot 4K up to 240 frames per second super slow motion in normal color profile, which plays back the slow motion in real time with no audio capture. The regular 4 has a 2x lossless zoom with an option of up to 4 times digital zoom. The 4P, on the other hand, goes up to 12 times digital zoom. That 240mm doesn't look too shabby, eh? But for the best results on any cameras, even beyond these pocket ones, I've always recommended sticking to using the primary lenses over digital zooms. So now we're going to be testing out both of these cameras with their dedicated night modes. I've always been so amazed how good the low light is on these pocket cameras ever since the Pocket 3 days. Whatever new 1-inch sensor DJI is using, it's really good. In my Pocket 4 versus Pocket 3 video, I mentioned we are seeing way more shadow details and control highlight preservation with the newer models, which I think night shooters would really appreciate. Now, with the 4P, I'm noticing clearer and sharper details in extreme low light. We can even see the keep out text on the bottom here better. Low light mode even works with the 3x lens on the 4P, and despite it not using the 1-inch sensor, I mean, my god, these 3x shots of Tokyo Tower still look so good. Both cameras can shoot great normal color profile videos. Both cameras have the new film look filters if you want some extra flavors in your videos, and both cameras can shoot in DLOG flat color profile if you want to do any heavy color grading. But exclusive to the 4P is the new DLOG 2 flat color profile that promises up to 17 stops of dynamic range, which means we can record more highlight and more shadow details. If we're accidentally too overexposed, we can still bring back the overblown highlights, and if we're accidentally too underexposed, we can still bring back the darker shadows. Anybody who's done any color grading would know that this is a near impossible task.
I'm not worried about the blown out highlights, because DLOG 2 is gonna save me, right?
But I need to clarify, the new DLOG 2 profile only works with the 1x camera, not 3x. A bit unfortunate, but it goes back to the 1-inch sensor. Only the 1x camera uses it, therefore it's the only one that gets the 17 stops of dynamic range. The 3x, again, uses the smaller 1/1.3 inch sensor. On a more positive note, the 3x does work in regular DLOG, which is still really good for color grading. You gotta remember, we were coming from DLOG M from the Pocket 3, and that was already very good, so it can only go up from there.
So let's just be clear right now, okay? Both of these cameras can be used for fun and can be used professionally. It's just that one of these would lean towards a certain direction more.
Obviously, because the 4P has a dual camera system, which more power users are going to like, keep in mind it's going to be heavier. 230 grams versus 190.5 grams.
And you kind of feel the top heaviness of it, but it's not bad, well worth it for the 3x in my humble Vong opinion. I'm just warning you, you will feel it, but we can still chuck it into our baggy pockets, no problem. However, some folks would still prefer the Pocket 4 just because of the smaller and more discreet form factor. It's less intimidating and it's way easier to carry around.
But not me though, I actually like the 4P.
Hey! That's mine!
Mine now!
And I mean, other than that, the UI, the autofocus, the bodies, the buttons, the screens are entirely, if not nearly identical. Both charges super fast, both have over 100 gigabytes of built-in memory, which honestly, I have stopped using micro SD cards altogether. I really appreciate the internal storage, plus offloading footage via USB-C is super fast.
With the light off.
Both have support for the magnetic fill light, which you can make brighter and change by color.
Look at that.
And of course, it's compatible with the Osmo audio ecosystem, so you can use your Mic Mini 2, Mic 2, and Mic 3s with either cameras. That's a lot of mics. So here's my verdict. Again, the 4 is a more than capable camera for most users who are looking for a compact travel camera that provides stable footage with great looking videos straight out of camera. It's the same tried and true formula since their Pocket 3 days, but with loads of improvements, especially in low light and the new color profiles. However, if you really want to push the capabilities of the 4, the DLOG option will get you there. I mean, money-wise, you're gonna get the most bang for your buck with the 4. But if you're more of a power-hungry user seeking an all-in-one camera, the dual camera system alone is worth it. DLOG is still a great flat color profile to push your grading, which I'm glad exists on both the 1x and 3x cameras. But for the times that you're stuck in a seemingly impossible, contrasty scenario, DLOG 2 might just bail you out. Let me know in the comments down below which one you'll go for, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!
You cracked it so hard!
Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
You won.